Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. Oh, boy. This is only getting better, as my pastor would say. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I'm giving life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily, that's the way of life, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we going with this? So I ask the question, do you know you? I help you with that. That's what I do for you. And the answer is rhetorical. But if you don't have it for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. But you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they do is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And always to my yacht, be true. We start this chapter on page 139. We are now page 163. And this is just one chapter. And this is just a philosophical concept of self-mastery. So let's go on down the rabbit hole a little deeper. We got a few more pages to go. Let's go. Today we're going to talk about silence is golden. What I have here? Okay. And silence really is God's time to talk to you. Wrong thinking is not hearing God trying to talk to you. Let me have a little lesson about both of them. See if I can clarify that for you right quick. Let's start out with silence. In the book, it says, God tell you what? Be still and solemn. Silence. Why? Then shall God open the way to salvation. If you don't pay attention, still yourself and give him time, which I call it daily meditation. Some people call it praying. That's not the way it's done. If you just praying, that's you talking again. I keep telling you, I don't pray out loud. If I'm praying for you, and I do that for a lot of people, you'll never hear it. Nobody else will either. He will. That's praying, as far as I'm concerned. My pastor is an exoteric prayer. I'm an internal prayer. I know the difference between the two. I'm a prayer warrior. That's why I do it for you. Moving on, but that's the concept. But let's talk about, that's why God wants you to still yourself. Be still and solemn in silence and keep it known that God shall now open the way for salvation. Withdraw where? Into thyself, not outside. And what happens? Father and Mother God will come. I did the story, I like the story, they did a lesson about Crossroads, favorite story. It shows you how the spirit, how you want to get in touch with the devil. Oh, don't worry, go on down there, he'll be waiting for you. Okay? Same thing in good and righteous and silence. God only going to talk to you when you give him your undivided, not your prayers, okay? I'm pretty sure my pastor does his meditation and talking to God. He tells me all the time, so I know that's how he does it. But watch this. When you do go withdraw within yourself, then the God, Mother, Father will come. Throw away what? The work of your body. Meaning this thing don't mean jack in the next realm, which is where you go when this is no longer in play. So deal with it for what it is. And you throw away your body senses, meaning the five senses, and now thy divinity, will come to birth. That's called born again. You got to kill off the old to let in the new. You can't pile new on top of old. No, old got to go. So you got to be reborn again spiritually and purging from what? Thyself, from yourself, what? Your animal, beastly nature, which torments and have concerns with what? Things of the flesh. Get above your fleshly nature and become a conscious spiritual being, what we was here to do. Knowing thyself is the whole purpose. And it's the abomination of what? The sanctity of God is what? You ready? Too much talking. But I'm just not. To violate the sanctity of God is to be doing too much talking. And it tells you the next verse. Pray. Okay, thou with a what? Loving heart. It don't say with a swift, gifted tongue. Some of them good guys, them preachers, they smooth as silk with that words from the Bible. They just flow it out. Yeah. But God don't want that. He wants the heart. And watch this. He wants the loving heart. The petitions of which all are in what? Secret. He knows the heart. That's all he care about. At Judgment Day, that's all they care about. Trying to teach the concept. God will do God's business. What's that? Things that you got no control over. That's God's business. And if you're praying, that's what you're hoping for. Come on now, God. Calm down. I'm teaching. I'm teaching. But God will do God's business. And here, watch this. That which thou say. How could you hear what God is saying if you don't what? Still yourself. Give him your undivided. Not in your dreams. No. He wants your undivided. And that which, hear that which thou say and will accept thine offerings. Meaning when you speak from the heart to God, hear what you got to say. And accept your offerings. My pastor, a God-fearing man, that's what they do. I understand that wholeheartedly. That ain't what I do. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a teacher. I don't do the praying thing. So I pray internally. I keep telling you that. And when you understand how prayer works, yeah. You got a bunch of people feeling a certain way, and it vibrates at that frequency. Oh, yeah, we don't understand that, but another lesson. But that's the whole purpose. Why you pray? I know it works. Simple. Spiritual. It's a spiritual concept. If you meet a despondent who is of your equal, okay, what happens? You will overcome them. How? With silence. That's when silence. The use of silence is knowledge. That's when you know when to be silent, okay? While they speak evilly, okay? You know, a bunch of guys, and we get that on top. I'm not getting to a damn media war with some clown because he feel a thing otherwise. That's your prerogative. Knock yourself out. I'm not beat for that. I'm a teacher. Again, you don't want to learn? No problem. Move on. What? Well, yeah, I'm not even running my mouth. Excuse me. But if you meet that loudmouth despondent, and you're equal, but you will beat them every time with what? Lest you said, wow, while they speak evilly, ignorant, okay, of you, and those who witness what he's doing or they doing will encounter, and what happened? They will remark at the end, your name will be held in high esteem amongst those who did better than him. And why? Because he obviously got a problem. Or they have a problem with what you're doing. So you let them do what they do. Elephant, don't worry about a gnat on his back. That's like the eagle, don't worry about a crow on his back. Wow. Elevate, okay? We ain't got to do nothing, man. Just do what you do. Some of that stuff is just too easy. When you have self-mastery, that's the whole object of the game. You play this game oh so well. Moving on. Where we at? Okay. Now, those who knoweth God, right there. If you claim to be God-fearing, you can be religious or whatever, but if you claim to be God-fearing, you should know God and being full with what? All good things. You can't claim to know God and be bad. Sorry about that. And think godly thoughts and not thoughts like a human, an ignorant person thinks. That's the masses, okay? The unenlightened, the ungodly, the ones who don't know God, but they believe in God, okay? For this cause, watch this, they who Gnostic, again, that's my word, Gnostic, it means to know from what? Experience. There was a Gnostic Christian set that they got ran out of because the believers didn't want the knowers around. Moving on. But the Gnostics are what? They who Gnostic are pleased and not the many. Why? Nor the many of them. Ain't many good God-fearing people. Obviously, that's what they're telling you. It's always been that way. It's not nothing new. They break it down for you all the time. But watch this. And they are thought mad and laughed at, even despised. And some of you hate it and despise. Sometimes they even kill, put to death. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, excuse me. And again, those who are thought mad and laughed at, they are hated, despised, and even sometimes put to death. This is why I'm a message. You need to be the one. No. I'm not leading a movement. Why? You know what they do to leaders of movements? They don't lead long. What? So I'm not interested in none of that nonsense. That's why I call myself, I'm a star in the ghetto. I'm good in my hood. I'm comfortable with that. I don't need everybody to know. No. Being rich and famous, that's least of my concern. But if I'm getting my message across in my hood, I'm good. So that's my point. And is it better either to be silent or to say things of more value than silence? If you don't have nothing good, constructive, and positive to say, then silence will be golden. But a lot of us who know that don't invoke it. Why? Ignorance sets in, and sooner, watch this, sooner throw a pearl at hazard than an idle or a useless word. Giving an ignorant person advice is wasted time. That's what they tell you. And do not say little in many words. Shut up. Why? Be great and do it in a few. Simple as that. Say what you got to say and get on your way. I'm not sitting here going a bunch of play a bunch of fancy, hard to understand words. No, I'm going to say what I got to say. Keep it simple. Hope you understand it and make my point. That's what it's all about. And if you're a man of worth, who sits on council of a leader, and please concentrate on just being excellent, your best self. Give your best effort. Your silence sometimes is much better than boasting. I that. No. Sometimes let your reputation speak for itself. Sometimes words ain't necessary. Moving on. And it says here, speak when you know that you have a solution. Other than that, you just add to the problem. It is a skilled person, an intelligent person who should speak when in counsel or in teaching or leading. Speaking is harder than all other work. The one who understands this, the wise man, makes speech his servant. In the words of my man, no exceptions. So if you have the wherewithal and knowledge of it all, when you speak, they'll listen. Moving on. Now, got this reason too. I got just enough time to get the opposite of right thinking is wrong thinking. That's what we're going to talk about right quick. I'll make a nice little lesson out of this. I ain't put a half a page, but it's good information. I can use it to make a lesson out of it. Hope you get a better understanding. Let's go. Wrong thinking, aka sinners. Wrong thinking implies that misunderstanding and misinterpretation of the nature and purpose of life. Right there. If you think or believe anything other than knowing thyself, being your best self is the way to go, you are wrong thinking. Wisdom is only gained from experiencing, listening, studying, and again, having experience, and then reflecting, meaning taking out quiet time to what? Think about what has been learned and meditate on it. Get full understanding, use it to the way it's intended, and benefit from said lessons. Simple. Wrong thinking, and this is what a lot of people are doing, is characterized by a mind. Okay, remember, thinking is a mental, it's a mind thing that thinks in a way which what promotes the lower animal nature, aka your beastly nature, and that's okay. It's natural. And thoughts of what? Fighting, survival, sexual overindulgence, constant violence, acting in a deceitful manner, getting angry, and showing greed. These are all low-level nature concepts and qualities that we have that you can control of. That's what wrong thinkers think this is okay and live this. In the uncontrolled mind, that's what they are, ignorant, there is an endless, what's this? There's in the uncontrolled, unenlightened mind, there is an endless pursuit of sensory and worldly pleasures of the flesh, which will never be satiated. No matter how much you get, you're going to want more. Why? Greed can't satisfy. That's why if you're living for that, you just in this circle. Okay, reincarnation is in the cards for you. Wrong thinkers. The mind is perpetually in what? In pursuit of, ready? Fantasies, illusions of the world. I want this, I want that, I want that. Well, I'd be happy. Again, wrong thinking. Thus, it never finds peace. Hotep. Hotep meaning being content with your life, with the situation you're in, and being grateful and living in the state right then. Not worrying about what you didn't have or what you used to have or what you're going to have. All that nonsense, that's all irrelevant. But for wrong thinker, that's all they think. And that's how they think. That's why they never at peace. See where we're going with this? And we all know somebody like that. Unless when you got to look in the mirror. But it's curable. The soul, watch this, the soul that identifies with what? This agitated mind will what? Will also think it is agitated and thus will also not find peace. It's along for the ride. So if it's good, it's happy. If it's bad, it don't make a decision. It's just along for the ride. But that's the psychic is now rendered what? Incapable. You are mentally retarding yourself to what? Reach higher intellectual achievement because you refuse to think right. The mind is ever occupied with worldly, physical, survival-related concerns of the flesh in the physical world. So you're not spiritual. You're human. You're flesh and bone. Yeah, but that's all you think you are. So that's wrong thinking. Right thinking is knowing thyself to be spiritual being, having a human experience. Wrong thinkers don't know that. Searching, like this. Almost done. I see the clock. Searching for oneself in the world is the pursuit of an illusion of ignorant people, and as you think, so as you become. If you're chasing that big house, that Mr. Right, you chasing an illusion. Your tail, okay, so to speak. That's why this snowblower is just going around and ain't going nowhere, okay? Now, virtue will fail that are frustrated by passion at every turn from the ignorant mind. You just don't want to do right. Some people, they just gonna do wrong in spite of hell. They gotta be punished. You gotta sit down and think about that. Why? Because they not manifesting right logic and right thinking for themselves. Some of us need help, okay? Now, I ain't saying everybody should be on medication, and that ain't always the answer. Sorry. But you should be as a rock on the seashore. Why? Remember, steadfast? You should stand firm on what you know to be, not what you think and feel it is. And what? Not dash of the waves after the waves disturbing you. If you know who you are, whatever's going on around you don't affect you. Raising your head like a tower on a hill, and the arrows of misfortune drop where? At your feet. Like the Matrix, my man, they shot the bullets, he stopped them, and that's the concept. That's where he get it from, in fact. But in the instant of what? Danger. What happened? The courage of what? You ready? Of your heart will sustain you. It's a built-in mechanism that knows how to survive in that point. Watch this. And the steadfastness, my man, bam, of your mind beareth you through. If you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. It's all on you. Again, it don't change. That perspective won't change. Now, the extension of the intellect, which we possess for what? The survey of transcendental things. Meaning, live in the physical world, understand it, but in a very narrow but ample when what? It shall perceive with what? Felicity of self-consciousness. A wrong thinker ain't thinking about the consequences of said actions until what? After the action is done. Monday morning quarterbacking, like who's on first? You gotta always go back to that. And watch this. The all is mind, God. The universe is mental. Mind is matter, may be transmuted, okay, like energy, from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole, vibration to vibration. Why? Because transmutation is a mental art form. Hence, right thinking is a mental art form. Wrong thinking is the same thing, just the wrong way. There's a lot of that going on. So let me wrap this up. Yeah, appreciate you tuning in. Yeah. It takes what? A strong disciple to what? Rule over the mountainous negative thoughts and to be consistently go to the essence of the meaning, your higher self. As what? Mental complexities increase, situations gonna change as you go through. And thus you will have the depth of your what? Decadence and challenge what? Both by, your challenge and both will be revealed what you really made of. Through situations as you go through, we'll find out what you're made of. Simple as that. That's the way the world. No exceptions. All right, let me wrap it up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm wrapping it up with this one here. Understanding the secrets of the universe cannot and will not be discovered through just studying and research alone. No. But only the honest search of truth and the development of what? An incorruptible mind qualifies you, the seeker, for what? Higher and more advanced instructions from your higher self. Hello. They say he don't give you more than you can handle. Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. But if you don't understand it, philosophically, metaphorically, or however, but you just saying it because it sounds good, that's not right thinking. That's wrong thinking. And if you're a believer, you pretty much a wrong thinker. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. No offense, but in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you passed away. Speaking of passed away, next lesson gonna be on health.